Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 of the Ninjas in Pajamas and Power Rangers about to take place. Explosive game 1, Merlini. Have high hopes for game 2 here?
Yeah. I do.
Short and sweet.
That shows you the potential play of some supports too. Like, you know, people always argue about what's the most important role, and I still think it's support. I mean, NS on that stand-in, he just brought them back into the game, 2 racks down, whatever. Great ultimates, fantastic positioning all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, without that, the Chrono was one thing, but they always had to have the follow-up damage.
Yeah, there were so many times that game where he had a Death Ward down where he's hiding in the trees in a weird spot where they can't easily interrupt him.
He was from a low ground like 2 or 3 times.
He was all over those ledges, even without the Chrono Surge. Very impressive. So we'll see how Ninjas in Pajamas draft around it this time. Initial bans coming out here at PR. Will take out the Troll Warlord and the Ninjas in Pajamas. They'll ban out the Tide Hunter and the Dazzle.
One deficiency of Power Rangers draft last game was not having an instant disable versus the Juggernaut. Either you have to have a way to tank it, which I guess they tried to do. It didn't end up working for the most part of the game.
Well, they had the Rubik. That's
reserve time.
Yeah, it's yeah, they did have the Rubik. They were never able to get it off.
Yes.
And usually you'll see a Lion versus a Jug or
Dire team
a push strat, a Chen, something along those lines. And it seemed like they didn't have a picture-perfect solution versus it, and that's why they struggle so much. Just Arrow was able to just get away with murdering 2 or 3 heroes.
Literal murder. Oh, boy. Well, NiP, they first picked the Wisp this go-around. They'll switch it up a little bit as PR think about it and opt to ban out Puck with their second. They open with Zeus, Disruptor, the Raptor, who are quite good against Wisp, and, well, we saw that last game. He wasn't on the winning team, but still set up a lot of kills and was a driving force that kept NiP in that game for so long.
10 seconds remaining.
He's a big factor. I'm surprised it wasn't earlier contested in between these 2 teams. Maybe Power Rangers underestimated their tendency to pick Disruptor, but when I think of Disruptor and Sneeko, I actually think of Disruptor. Yeah. I've seen him just own on that hero. Absolutely own.
And for a long time, it's not limited to just this patch or the last patch. It's a hero that he is very, very experienced with. NiP will grab their second support early on, the Vengeful Spirit, a very powerful support duo, the talk of the town on this patch.
Actually, NS could play Disruptor too. He has a set.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot about his Disruptor set.
Reserve time.
Okay.
Could be either of them.
Either or. We'll see what other support they pick up. I mean, I feel like there's a chance they could run the Witch Doctor again after how well it worked that last game. Of course, it does depend on how the rest of the picks sort of settle down, but definitely an option for them. Now, I'm thinking, what are they going to pair this Wisp with? If you're Power Rangers looking at this draft, what do you prioritize for your 3rd and 4th bans?
Dire team ban.
Tiny might be one.
Tiny's pretty high up there.
What other? I mean, there's a lot of potential.
If they want to run the Jug, CK could be a worthy ban. We still haven't seen the Wisp CK against the Juggernaut, but I think on paper it makes a lot of
10
sense.
10 seconds remaining.
What are the other good Wisp pairings? Haven't seen Wisp Ursa in a long time. Wisp LC is pretty lackluster. Tiny kind of stands apart as one of the stronger pairings. Medusa can also be surprisingly potent, though I don't know that NiP really have a history of running too much Medusa.
Bristle would have been good.
Yeah, Bristle could have worked also.
I think they either want a fairly tanky hero or a BKB hero, not like a Squish Monster.
Okay.
Squish Monsters are like Jug and those sort of heroes.
all those guys. Jug and all of his friends. Ancient Apparition, smart ban from NiP.
It's like Stark, the ones that don't necessarily rely on BKB in order to thrive. But we shall see.
They'll ban out the Jug. So afraid of a Wisp Jug getting out of control. Does leave the Tiny in the pool that I think pretty wise bans for
they
overall.
just didn't handle the Jug very well last game.
Yeah,
I'm actually a little surprised they didn't ban it in the first phase.
Yeah. Well, NiP, obviously not so interested in it. I have a feeling this is just going to be a 3rd pick Tiny for NiP straight up, unless Power Rangers pick it up right now.
Well, NiP have last pick, so they can wait to see what Power Rangers carry is before they pick their own.
Yeah. Do you think they'll wait till last pick, though, and run the risk of it getting 5th banned by PR?
I think so. I think they can.
Okay. There's the Witch Doctor again, though, so maybe it will be the Sneeko Raptor after all, and NS will stick to what worked last game.
It's also very good versus EO, the coconuts.
Oh, the coconuts.
The coconuts, man.
I love it. Tidehunter has been banned out. A smart ban when you're going to first pick a Wisp. Another hero that sets up well for the relocate.
I mean, Power Rangers already have like a fantastic
10
lineup of dealing with the Wisp.
remaining.
Wisp and whatever partner it's going to be. It doesn't actually matter.
5
Like
seconds
Coconuts is
remaining.
going to own most melees. Disruptor going to own like Slark, which we've seen
Reserve
sometimes
time.
with EO.
So, yeah.
And it's just going to own the Wisp in general. And Zeus is also very good at just bursting down an EO immediately.
Yeah, that's a good point. That burst damage is nothing to scoff at. AA, smart ban not only because he counteracts some of the healing efforts that Wisp puts out, but also a lot of synergy with Zeus there. That Icy Vortex is scary when you're pairing it with the Lightning from the Thunder God. Now, NiP thinking hard about this third pick here. They will need a core of sorts. Might not be the Wisp partner, but they need to start racking up these core heroes. And again, they'll run the Venomancer. Did work
Dire
pretty
team
well
pick.
for them last game. Actually,
Oh, I
kind of
didn't-
wish. Yeah,
I
check
didn't
the
check the
damage
damage.
done. I was just thinking that.
Let me see.
Oh, you relogged.
Oh, I did relog. You can check.
It's going to mess up the draft overlay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I think it's worth seeing.
All right, let's see here. All right, total damage done. Venomancer did 34,000. So to put that in perspective,
Juggernaut did 18,000.
Jug did 18,000.
What?
Witch Doctor?
He's up.
Oh yeah. Witch
10
Doctor did
seconds remaining.
23,000. So yeah, Veno did some work to put it
5
mildly.
seconds.
He did like
remaining.
over 50% more than all the second place heroes, or the second through like fourth, fifth place.
Reserve time.
That's gross. They did not get a pipe that game either. I feel like if you have a Veno who gets that kind of farm, like a Midas Aghanims, pipe is completely warranted.
Well, that game, Necrolite had too much farm to spend on paltry 3,600 gold items. Like he had big items like Scepter plus Refresher,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good, Bloodstone.
At the end, yeah.
So, and he had BKB, and I think he wanted a Scythe had he had another slot. So I do think that pipe was great. It's just he just had too many other things to build.
I mean, that game was gone on long enough that a support could have picked it up for sure. I mean, they had Aghanims coming around, so there was
Yeah.
a chance that someone else could have prioritized the pipe, but well, we'll see. So PR now thinking about this fourth pick. Still don't know what that Wisp pairing will be. If you're, let's just say for the sake of argument that they're going to go with a Tiny here. What is the best way that Power Rangers can hedge their bets
Probably
to deal with a
Slark,
Tiny?
I think.
Just the elusive nature of it. I mean, we saw earlier how disastrous a Slark can be against Tiny with all that AoE damage if he gets that snowball rolling.
I think at the same time he's very strong versus all of the other heroes.
Radiant team pick.
Now PR will settle on the Phantom Assassin now for this fourth pick. We have not seen PA yet in the Starladder Season 11 LAN Finals, but yeah, she can get that snowball rolling for sure.
It doesn't have the EO for the mobility. It does vary up their damage a fair
You think this
amount.
was a potential deny pick? Like they were afraid NiP might pick the PA and they wanted to block it?
10
Possibly,
seconds remaining.
but Phantom Assassin is so vulnerable to magic damage, and they have a lot of magic damage.
5 seconds
sure.
remaining.
It would have worked out pretty well for Ninjas in Pajamas, but that's the thing. I mean, a lot of heroes would work decently.
Yeah.
Like
Reserve
a BKB
time.
carrier, a CK, Tiny. Like
So how does
all
PA
those-
match up against a Tiny with this kind of a arsenal?
She's okay. She's melee, which
And
means
there's
you're
the
gonna
Tiny.
you're gonna have to deal with you're
Dire
gonna have to
team
deal with that all
ban.
craggy. And secondly, she has a very low HP pool, and she's always gonna be vulnerable to that stun toss combo. So
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of the PA pick. I think they would have been better off banning the Tiny, like I mentioned in the earlier
10
part. But
seconds remaining.
I don't know. We've seen a lot of Wisp, and
5
people don't ban the
seconds
Tiny in the
remaining.
second phase, and it almost always gets through. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe they're more scared of the other heroes, and
Reserve
Tiny's at
time.
least something that's more.
It's not surprising. You know what to expect.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, do you want to expect a sledgehammer coming through your wall? It's not what you want.
True. I mean, I agree with you. I'm surprised that Tiny is left in as often as he is. PR
Radiant
ban out the
team
Axe here,
ban.
another hero that NiP ran in the last match. And they will ban out the Broodmother. Could have been a pretty potent offlaner for the
Dire
Power
team
Rangers. Options for their offlane here, Centaur, Batrider are the first two that come to mind. Puck's been banned out. Tide's been banned out. Other offlane options here? Timber. Oh, Timber.
Centaur. But I think I like Timber a little bit more because he's not a Blink initiator. Blink initiators versus Venomancer is just
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah, Timber, very mobile. They could also
10
consider...
seconds remaining.
No, never mind. Not even going to say it.
I don't think they
5
can
seconds
aggro with this,
remaining.
so that's
No, I
kind of
don't
out of the
think so.
question. 20 seconds left.
Yeah, they need a...
Faceless Void is another
Resolve
option.
time.
Yeah,
another
that's
melee
true.
carry, something that they went with last game. It'd be decent for them.
I mean,
Just-
the Void Witch Doctor is just a
10
combo that
seconds
is
remaining.
good in general, regardless of who you're up against. So they could go with that. Void also works
5
very nicely with
seconds
Zeus and
remaining.
Disruptor. Doesn't synergize so well with the PA, and here they'll go with the Space Creator, Nature's
Radiant team
Prophet.
pick.
A little bit of pushing prowess.
I think actually with the Nature's Prophet, they actually could have the potential to aggro.
Do you think they will, though? Disruptor, Witch Doctor, PA. I guess some of it depends on this final pick here.
I think they probably
I'm not quite sure how NiP will
we'll
set up these lanes.
We'll see what NiP goes with last.
Probably Tiny Wisp mid. So are you thinking like a
10
safe lane
seconds remaining.
Veno, or maybe they'll safe lane the Tiny? A lot of different ways they could set up this laning phase.
5 seconds remaining.
Power Rangers didn't go like massive late game like they did the other
Reserve
game,
time.
so that's something.
I wonder how aggressive this PA will go. This does not strike me as a Battle Fury PA kind of game, and NiP will be the ones to take the Timbersaw this go around. So it looks like that'll be your Jonas hero headed to the off lane, and we'll see if they want to do Tiny Wisp mid or if they want to do a safe lane try with Veno solo mid. All right.
Power Rangers need to get BKB on PA. That's
Yeah, pronto. That is a very high priority.
yeah.
But this is, I think, a pretty good game for PA to go more of a skirmish build. Get your like phase drums going on right into the BKB, get some lifesteal going, and just get combative. I mean, you've got Zeus, Disruptor, and Witch Doctor, 3 huge damage dealers that can sit on the back of the Dityara, and, well, Nature's Prophet can create some space in the meantime. Although, Furion against Wisp, Tiny, and Timbersaw, not going to be the easiest game
10
for him.
seconds remaining.
Well, it's good for snowballing, right? You can pick off the EO very
5
early until he hits level
seconds
6.
Mm-hmm.
You can overwhelm him in numbers, and on top of that, you can take down the towers to limit their jungle farm, which Tiny is just an absolute beast at. So I don't think it's necessarily that bad. They
Prepare
both
for
work
battle.
well against each other, right? Global versus
Yeah,
global.
that's a fair point, actually. So more about execution and positioning, I guess, than actually one really countering the other. All right, game 2, Power Rangers, 1 game away from moving to the semifinals. We are in the last best of 3 of the day for our opener of the Starladder Season 11 LAN Finals. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. It's been a blast so far, and there's so much awesome Dota to come in the next few days. PR getting aggressive. They will do a 5-man invade into the Radiant Jungle. 8 Mother, he's going to walk right into it. Dityara gets stunned up. Who bumps into who? Venomous Gale connects on 3 heroes. Dityara backing out. Now the Avalanche from Tiny on 4. A lot of damage flying through as Jonas. Timber chains in. Dityara maybe the first blood, and he is. Jonas secures the bonus gold. Timber chains away, but will still die to the Raptor. It's a 1-for-1. Cheshire Cat stunned up again. Kinetic field stopping NiP dead in their tracks. And that's where this little skirmish will end, but it is NiP that find the advantage.
Wow, and Timbersaw manages to buy boots off of that first blood.
All right, that's a pretty good victory for NiP there. Not a bad way for this game to get started. Already explosive. That's what I'm talking about. Blood shed before the horn, Merlini.
NiP looks
battle
like they will have
begins.
bottom rune. Top rune will go to Soniko. Pretty smart of him to get the kinetic field level 1.
Yep. Although he bumps right into Jonas, and this is a little bit scary for Soniko. Going to need to see some jukes here. Timber chain. Beautiful spot to use it at the choke point. No trees nearby. And the Raptor will survive. What am I talking about? He knows this hero like the back of his hand, Merlini. He was going to be fine.
I mean, this just makes it pretty difficult to zone out the Timber. He doesn't have reactive armor at level 1. Might be a little bit more difficult for him. Looks like they do manage to block the big camp, too. So these supports may be struggling for some levels. Oh, JK.
There you go. Sentry Ward goes down, and that'll be the end of the Observer. They're going to come in onto Jonas here. He will Timber chain out of the kinetic field. Nice little mechanic for him to shine in this offense. Let's take a look at how the lanes are settled down, though. NiP going to be Radiant this time around. 8 Mother on the Veno. Handskin on the Vengeful Spirit. They'll be safe lane. It will be Seal Kid playing the Wisp with Era on the Tiny mid. We've already seen Jonas, the man that picked up the first blood. It was also the first death for NiP. Will be offlane on the Timbersaw. Dire Sign, that puts Cheshire Cat in the offlane on the Furion. Shotchlo mid on the Zeus, and it'll be a safe lane try. We've seen the Raptor by Soniko. Dityara.
Cheshire Cat in a lot of trouble.
Is this going to be a kill? It looks like it. He'll try to TP out. No, he lives. Okay. That Venomous Gale just doesn't do any damage. Little underwhelming when you can TP instead of run away.
So in this mid lane, Zeus should be okay in terms of CS, but once Era gets a couple of levels, they're able to start off with a toss. Oh, here they go already.
Yep, the toss back right into the creep wave, and Shotchlo in a lot of trouble. That tether slowing him down, getting bashed by the Wisp balls, and that'll secure the kill for NiP Era.
Such a difficult lane for Zeus.
Yeah, so do you consider just rotating a support over? Should NS be looking towards the mid lane, or?
Yeah, I think it should be NS in the mid lane. I think he's the only one that can actually stop that initiation. I mean, Era's already at full mana due to the bottle on Seal Kid.
Yep, Seneko, he finds an invisibility rune, and we'll just scout around here as he ventures. Where is he headed? Wrap around in the mid, maybe looking for a courier snipe.
But he already has his bottle.
Yeah. Well, a noble effort, but will not yield anything here.
Actually, we're not sure about that. Chicken is coming with boots on Era.
And
he has to be very patient.
Recipe. How long will he wait around here? Invisibility rune will expire right around the time that the chicken gets here. This will be a close call. Hopefully he doesn't back out right before it comes.
Well, they're also really close. They can actually kill him.
Yep, there we go. He goes for the courier, needs another auto attack, and he finds it. Nice pick off there for Seneko. The patience pays off. Merlini, you ready for some trivia?
Sure.
Do you know what Jonas Symphon means?
I have no idea.
It means Jonas as fuck.
Does that mean...
he's Jonas as fuck, dude. It's like Jonas, Psalm, fan is 3 different words. So there you go. How about handskin? Means glove in Swedish. Rocking the gloves, dude.
I wish I knew more Swedish.
Yeah, me too. Jonas as fuck. What a name.
Sounds. I don't know if it sounds like the same in English as it does in.
Did you notice when he introduced him? Oh, you weren't with us. He introduces himself as Jonas. That's his name. So the next part is just a little addendum there. So all right, how are these lanes looking? Zeus off to a slightly rocky start, but 13 last hits, still doing okay. Shotchlo halfway through level 4. I think getting that courier pick off has made his life a lot easier and limited what the tiny Wisp can do, at least a little bit. Cheshire Cat, level 4 in the off lane, having a pretty good time there, and compared to Jonas, a significantly better time, who was only level 2 on the Timbersaw. And speak of the devil, initiated on Seneko, hits him with a Thunder Strike. NS can't get there with the stun, but they will secure the bounty rune for the Thunder God.
Level 1 glimpse, only 600 cast range, not enough, and he had to go the early 1 point in kinetic field to stop that aggression from the first blood.
Yeah, worth it, but does harbor some of his laning potential. Dityara, fast power treads up here, so no Handamitis or anything like that. Shotchlo getting smacked by the balls, but Era can't close the gap. Toss, just going to throw a creep in at him. Just keep on poking him. Era, 10 stick charges as well, so he's feeling pretty good. We'll have his power treads once that courier respawns.
I mean, Zeus just has to be worried about dying like any second. That's the problem again when facing Tiny Wisp. Shotchlo is level 5, and that is equal level to the Tiny and the Wisp.
Ooh.
And Steel Kid's also able to make the double stack. Let's see if he gets it off.
He does have a double damage rune, and big camp will get a stack. Medium camp will not.
That's a lot of gold waiting for them.
Sure is. Power of the Tiny Wisp. But the Dire, they stack in. Nope, it's just Furion jungling. Cheshire Cat already relegated. 1 null tally for now and a pair of boots. Curious what build he's going to go into. Will this just be like the combative null tally blade mail style? Will he go Midas into some split push items like
probably
Blink Maelstrom, Necro, that kind of stuff?
I like blade mail here. I think it's really good versus Timber.
Is this an Orchid game for the Furion, do you think? He could go for a quick Orchid. Not bad against the Timber, decent against the Wisp and Tiny.
I think he needs HP.
Yeah, it's true. They'll be too squishy.
Maybe later.
Okay.
And PR, they do have triple stack to work with. Wild Wing, Hellbear, and Trolls for Dityara. No Battle Fury in sight for him. I don't even know if he's going Battle Fury. Oh, is he just a brawl on the
I would be surprised. If he goes Battle Fury, I think it'll be a delayed one, probably at like the 25-minute mark or something. Oh, the paralyzing cast flying through, showing us why it's so good against the Wisp. under-leveled right now, but bouncing around those tether targets.
Shotshlow very low in mid. He might get tossed on right here.
Oh, Shotshlow.
Oh, he has the ward.
He's suspicious. He knows it's coming. Yeah, this ward here. Yeah, that's his vision you're looking at. So he saw it coming a mile away.
Well, good thing Tiny can toss from a mile away.
Yeah, PA definitely going to go this combative build. Helm of Iron Will picked up off the power treads.
Is it armlet for him?
I
Or
doubt it.
HOD?
I think it's just a fast HOD.
He has 700 HP. That is just so little versus lineup.
I mean, is Armlet PA a thing? I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen that.
It's decent. She needs the HP badly.
Yeah,
She gets a
that's
lot
true.
of it right click from it.
I feel like she really needs some drums. I mean, if you can make use of the HOD, it's a worthy pickup, but the drums are just almost a necessity for that HP buffer, I feel like.
HOD is more like the stacking and farming build, which is a little bit difficult without Battle Fury. And I don't necessarily think they want to trade farm, although they could, since Tiny's really the only one they have to worry about in a super late game.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Lots of options here. NS, level 4 on the Witch Doctor, gets that second point in the cask, and, well, doing okay, spending some time in the jungle.
Era taking out the stacks.
Oh, yeah, and there's a smoke from PR. So that'll get Era pretty beefy. He's got power treads and a bracer working towards those drums. Another 1,000 gold saved up. But it is PR that want to get aggressive here. Zeus is level 6, Disruptor, level 4 with 2 points in the glimpse as they rotate 4 heroes to the bottom lane.
And again, the Venom wards scouting them out.
Ultimate from Zeus to give him some vision. 8 Mother gets taken low, but this smoke will not yield a kill for PR.
4 heroes, a smoke, and nothing. And they
Dire's
lose
top
both 8
tower
mana
is
runes.
under attack.
That is very costly. Double damage still hanging out. No one's going for it quite yet. Era focused on the tower in the mid lane. Will
Dire's
be able to
middle
do a fair bit of
tower is
damage
under
to it. It's down to
attack.
about half health before PR can rotate and push him back. Now Wisp will head for that double damage rune. His second double damage rune in 8 minutes. And now the tether, the glimpse back onto Era. Now the setup, Shotshlow gets stunned. Do they actually have the damage to bring Era down? Seal Kid, not level 6, cannot relocate. The toss onto Shotshlow will not be enough, but they get the kills. A 2-for-0 in the mid as PR finally make their strike.
I like the level 1 Maledict and Witch Doctor. It definitely helps when you need to burst down a high HP target like
Yep.
Tiny.
Some much needed kills there. Tiny was getting a lot of momentum. PA will indeed go for the HOD here, Merlini. She be picked up. Now about 1,000 net worth going the way of the Power Rangers, and that'll actually push them into the Golden Experience lead. What's over here? 8 Mother going for the Hand of Midas. Looks like he'll do the exact same thing he did last game. Farm away on the Venom, stay safe in the lane, go for Midas, probably into an Aghanims, and play that Kamikaze roll once he gets a Blink Dagger.
So Zeus is caught up in levels after that. Brief exchange, all the supports. Still not level 6, but NiP very, very close, and that's where things can get a little bit fishy for PR.
Dire's
Yeah, though
middle
PR
tower
support's
is
pretty
under
close
attack.
also, both at least level 5. So may need to farm in the jungle just a little bit longer. Great time to strike on that Tiny, though, before the relocate is out on Wisp. That's
I mean,
like
the
your
only
big
hero
window.
that can farm safely, though, is PA. I think everyone else is destined to die, even Disruptor. If you get a good stun toss on him before he can glimpse, or even right after the glimpse.
Yeah. So this build that Dityara's gone for, when does he get involved? I mean, are you pretty confident you think that he'll transition into like a Battle Fury, or commit to more of an early skirmish build, like go for a quicker BKB, maybe some drums, stuff like
Mix
that?
the drums in BKB game.
Okay, Seal Kid gets initiated on by NS, but now he's isolated. It's a 1-on-3. The Avalanche will actually miss. Wisp Balls, though, doing a lot of damage. Is he actually going to live through this? He is hasted. He's got a TP scroll, and oh, that haste rune. They're flying over with the courier. Can he actually snipe this? No, he won't. He'll just TP home.
Wow. Oh,
Okay.
where do you relocate to?
I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, it was just really close. I don't know.
I'm not exactly sure what the relocate is for.
That was weird. Yeah, that was just strange.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Tier 1 mid still standing. No towers have gone down quite yet. Dityara starting to push into the Tier 1 in the top lane. Jonas, he is getting so little out of this. His CS only 14. Furion really pulling ahead. 2K net worth on the Timbersaw, nearly
Radiant's
4K
top
on the
tower
Nature's
is under
Prophet.
attack.
That is a pretty damn big disparity.
Nico hit level 6 on bottom, and at least they don't have to worry about EO ult for another minute, which is pretty big, especially considering NS isn't level 6 yet. If he's level 6, he can actually turn those relocate ganks around, but until then, it's mostly going to be defensive coconuts.
They ping out. Dityer on the top lane. Handskin on his way in. And, not going to be the kill there. Instead, it's the mid lane where they jump on the Witch Doctor and find the kill. Whoops. TP to the top. And the tower will end up going down. Okay. So, tower goes down to the Dire, and Era getting pretty close to taking out this tier 1 here in the mid lane.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Nice toss on the Nico. Add some added tower damage.
Yeah, just harassing. Very quiet early game, though. 12 minutes in, only 6 kills up on the scoreboard. Both teams focused around getting that initial farm. Tiny, now with a Drum of Endurance, goes right into the point booster, looking to have a very well-timed Aghanims this game, as he is soon to be level 8 and level 9, and max out that combo with just a few more creep kills.
And they're still keeping up the stacks on the side of NiP.
Yep. Another double. Invisibility on Venomancers. He rotates to the bottom lane through the secret shop. Looks like NiP may try to get aggressive here. TP in from the Venomancer. NS topping off Seneko. These two supports about to get sandwiched. Venomancer scouts it out. Venomous Gale connects on Seneko, but does get down to Static Storm Kinetic Field. Actually creates some space for himself. He'll stay alive for now. 8 Mother dropping the DOTs, but Shotclow's there. Huge damage onto NiP. Seal Kid will go down. Era on the run. Handskin will do a very close range swap. Low health heroes for NiP, but they're all surviving for now. Can PR find any way to finish off these low health stragglers? They cannot.
Wow, Ditya Ross split off and look for the Venomancer. That cost his team 2 kills.
Yeah, it really did.
It looked like Tiny was going to die anyways, but narrow escape.
Big plays from Seneko, though, in that situation. Gets hit by the Gale, still managed to get off his rotation, and he kind of set that up. He bought enough time to get his teammates there, keep NiP around, and make that a 1-for-1 instead of a quick 1-for-0 and a tower kill.
Yeah, caught Tiny off guard.
Yeah, definitely not ready for that. Looks like Ditya will actually go into the Battle Fury, so slightly more combative, but still wants a farming tool here. Broadsword already in tow. Mid lane again, NiP all grouped up as 4. Tiny uses a drum charge here. He's going to press forward. No, he didn't use a drum charge, pardon me. I don't know why I thought he did. I think he just got overcharged.
Under attack.
All right, so 4 heroes mid. They really want to finish off this tower, but Nature's Prophet, he has found a lot of farm this game. Very impressive. He's number 4 on net worth overall and has a Maelstrom. Tower in the mid does go down, so Radiant will find a little gold pick-me-up there. That will make the tower count 1-1.
Yeah, nice kill for all Radiant. Looks like Tiny almost got it with the toss, but they're content to get Tiny nice and fat.
Yeah, about halfway to the Aghanim Scepter, so making some pretty good progress. So I feel like for PR, though, they still don't want to take this super late. Even if Ditya gets a decently timed Battle Fury here, there's like this mid-game window where PA is going to be a bit stronger than the Tiny, but past maybe 45 minutes or so, that's when the Tiny is just...
Well, the Wisp, the Tiny has a Wisp with him.
Yeah, that's
PA
what I mean.
doesn't.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think Tiny needs to get a BKB, maybe at some point to deal with annoying spells like Cask and a lot of Zeus Burst, but he will always have the Wisp backing him up.
NiP checking the Roche pit. If there are options. Yeah. I guess my overarching point here is that it's on PR to be a bit aggressive. I think just going absolute late game is going to be a tall order with that Tiny Wisp.
Yeah, I mean they have decent supports though. 2 of them can get Ags, Witch Doctor, or
yeah, same as last time. There are 2 big Aghanim ults. Yeah. PR will pull a big rotation here though. 5 moving to the bottom. Ultimate from Zeus gives vision onto 8 Mother. Glimpse into the Static Storm Kinetic Field. He has a mech. That'll keep him alive for now, but not for long. Venge also dies in the mix. 2-for-0 in the bottom, and so much synergy there. Zeus to scout it out and Disruptor to make it happen.
Yeah, such a nice combo coming out from them.
And now they just move right into Roche. Zeus zaps the ground, make sure there's no boards down, even a sentry for good measure. They feel safe, they move into the Roche pit, and they should feel safe. They are completely No, NiP are completely blind, so PR are out of vision.
They're doing a very good job of playing against the Wisp. And this means going in groups of 2 or 3 so that Wisp doesn't have any easy targets.
Hey, look at this Wild Wing Ripper here, just doing the dance, saying, "This is my house, and you are not welcome."
Roshan has
That will zone them out. PA grabs the Aegis as Power Rangers secure an uncontested Roche here at the 16 minute.
Well, who needs defensive items with BKB if you have the Aegis?
True
The
that.
HOD is excellent.
Dyer's top tower
Shot
is
PA
under
to
attack.
secure Aegis. You usually don't see this build, though.
No, very, very rare. I feel like I've seen this build, but with a drum before the Battle Fury. This PA gonna risk it to get the biscuit and secure that farming tool, and well, just one regeneration piece away, close to that perseverance and securing the ultimate farming tool for the PA.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get away with this build and they aren't going to kill you while you're a Glass Cannon and you can secure Aegis,
Yeah.
by all means.
It's great. Yeah, exactly. But
Dyer's
against the
bottom
Tiny
tower
Wisp,
is
Dityara rolled the dice here. That's for damn sure. There will be some tower trading. NiP down bottom. Venno using all that nasty Plague Ward mojo to take down this tower. Dire Glyph was used, and it will fall. Venomancer gets credit for the kill. Swap, but a blink from Shachlo keeps him alive. Now the relocate coming in. Shachlo still alive. He's trying to juke in the trees, and he will. The Avalanche actually misses. NS on the way in. He's got a stun ready. Shachlo will get cornered. Oh my gosh. Ape Mother stunned. The Death Ward not going to do what it can. And that Coconut not taking the bounce they were hoping for. Ape Mother will TP out, and Tiny gets the tower kill in the top lane. Meanwhile, in the mid, they get a kill on the Timbersaw. Action happening everywhere around the map. It will kind of be a 1-for-1 trade, Zeus for Timber, if you will, around the map, and a tower for tower. That was actually 2 towers for 1. They got
Even with a blink, Zeus can't run away from that.
Yeah, he did pretty well, though. He got pretty far. I feel like that was a noble effort from the Zeus.
It was. It certainly was.
Well, Tiny now secures his Aghanim Scepter. So 18 minutes in, not the fastest timing we've seen, but still on point. Arrow will continue topping the net worth chart as he grabs this cleaving farming tool. Furion going the full Rat Dota style. Maelstrom into Blink, ready to knock down these towers, and these little Venus flytraps here nipping at this tower. These are like the derpiest little creeps I've ever seen. Look at how they walk. Oh, Jesus.
They do look ridiculous.
They are.
We see a Blink come out from Nature's Prophet. Blink is generally your ideal item on your cores to deal with the Wisp. Oh.
Dagger, crit, Seal Kid. He'll actually get pretty low. Handskin with a swap on the Nature's Prophet. He'll go down. Venomancer ends up using the Poison Nova, but now he'll get glimpsed back. He's already used his mech. The Vengeful Spirit died in the fray, and now Venno will certainly feel the wrath of the Dityara. It's a 1-for-3 trade in the mid as the Power Rangers secure yet another successful team fight.
They can't ever focus on the PA.
Yeah.
Warriors of the Wood.
Cheshire Cat is really doing work on this Nature's Prophet.
That was a great combo to lock down the Wisp. I mean, he even waited for the Blink Strike to use his tether to get to the Tiny, and he still ended up dying.
Well, there was a degree of luck. To start that fight, he threw a dagger that got a coup de grace, so not a bad way to start off the fight, if I don't say so myself, especially on the, 2 armor Wisp. Your ideal target for one of those crits, for sure. Actually, wait, no, it's pure damage. Doesn't make a difference. I'm an idiot. But I caught myself. That's what's important.
Well, he doesn't have that much HP. It's just
it's the low HP. The armor doesn't make a difference.
It's a large chunk of his HP.
Yeah, absolutely. Dagger hits on Handskin. Are they thinking about having a go here? Nope, a little too deep into enemy territory as Venomancer will TP in to ensure that PR don't get too aggressive. Though, Dityara clears out the Radiant Ancients, so even though he doesn't find a kill, still very happy to clear out Ancients, and he's picked up an Alpha Wolf. So just going for the damage aura. This PA already hits quite hard.
Yeah, around 200 damage with the Alpha Wolf aura, 210.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
And now Ape Mother gets jumped on. Dagger to start it off. Gets off a Venomous Gale. Swap from Handskin. Keeps him alive. But the glimpse back right onto Ape Mother. Finishes him off. The Death Ward still channeling to bring him down. Handskin with a stun onto Dityara. Still has the Aegis of the Immortal. Can't afford to be a bit hyper-aggressive here, but that stun will keep Venge standing. Split pushing from NiP, though. Seal Kid and Era in the bottom lane. They'll move into this tier 2. A TP back to defend. It will be Shachlo with an invisibility rune on. More TPs coming. Era in a little bit of trouble, perhaps. There is a relocate, so I think they can make it out. Glimpse back onto Era. Can he find a tether to relocate out? Yes, he can, and he will.
That was such a long range tether. Like
It really was. Dude, that change, man. No more turn. And Seal Kid will play the sacrificial lamb. Tries to tether his way away, but yeah, he'll just get finished off. They give the last hit to PA, so a killing spree secured for Dityara. And now 3,200 gold up on this Phantom Assassin. Aegis will expire. Top her off with that little regeneration buff. And if Dityara wants a BKB, it's right around the corner.
Timber's a little unusual offlaner to have with the Wisp Tiny. Generally, teams prefer a method of lockdown so that you blink initiate, you relocate in, and that's almost a guaranteed kill. These heroes include LC, Magnus, and Centaur, and Timbersail's only been involved in one of these kills. He can't lock anyone down.
Yeah, he has not had a big impact this game, to say the least. He is working on a Bloodstone, it looks like, Soul Booster, kind of around the corner, about 500 gold off. That's still a little ways to go. PR starting to pressure this bottom tier 2, but NiP will rotate to make a defense. Cheshire Cat hit by the Gale. He'll try to TP out, but there's a magic missile and a swap to boot. Cheshire Cat going to go down as NiP get a little pick-me-up. A lot of just stray pickoffs so far this game. We haven't really seen that same array of these huge cataclysmic team fights. It's just been little kind of pushes here and there. Tiny closing in on an Assault Kuros already. Just one piece away, that is the Hyperstone, and he's halfway there.
And Phantom Assassin already with the BKB up. So we talked about how necessary it was. I did not expect her to be able to farm HOD, a Battle Fury, and a BKB in this amount of time.
Yeah, 23 minutes and level 16. Beautiful timing. Where do you go from here, though, item-wise for Dityara? What's your ideal bet to try and combat a Tiny?
I think you just have to go with more items to kill him during the BKB. I think
so like
you just go
Abyssal, like Basher Abyssal.
Abyssal's pretty good. Dezo is decent, but she already has HOD, so yeah, I think Abyssal's the play here.
Yeah, certainly. Witch Doctor, nowhere near an Aghanim's, not even that first piece, and same deal for the Disruptor, although he does have 1,300, so can grab the point booster. I feel like if this goes on long enough, Seneko getting an Aghanim's is going to be a game-changing item that'll give them a tool to deal with these BKBs and that late-game Tony. Ooh, top lane, Dityara and Jonas. Having a little scuffle, but a TP scroll will end that one quick. Timber with no stun. And a little ward action coming in the bottom lane.
Looking for the pre-roach dance.
Yep. We'll see what the timer is here momentarily. Could be a quick one and exacerbate the dance. Really heat things up. Timber Saw venturing into enemy territory will get glimpsed. And not really the direction the Raptor was hoping for. Jonas will be just fine. Lane ward down here for NiP so they can continue putting pressure down.
They might be setting up for a relocate.
I think they probably are if they find the opening. Take a look at Radiant Vision, and they saw some of them kind of move towards the Roche pit, but will not go for it. It's going to be a long Roche respawn, just about the maximum timer here, 3 minutes plus the initial clock. So probably just going to be a farm fest until then, I would imagine.
See what Vino is going for. Looks like same build as
the
last
Ags.
game.
Yeah. Did he have the mech last game? Yeah. Was he the mech carrier?
I believe so.
Yeah, so the exact same build we saw before. Here we go. Jonas initiated on the same combo as before. Zeus to reveal him, and the Disruptor to set it up. He will commit suicide. So minor victory there, but that was his first death with the Bloodstone. Takes him down to 5 charges pretty much out of the gate.
Smart use of Zeus ults.
Yeah. Nice pickoffs here and there. Let's just take a look at the graph, see how things are faring. Power Rangers with about a 2,500 gold lead and about a 5,000 experience edge. Nothing too significant, but they are farming quite nicely for themselves. Tiny does have that Assault Kuros, as we saw. And Nature's Prophet may be working on a Hex.
They've gotten kills all over the map, but they still can't really stop the Wisp Tiny from split pushing. I mean, they can kill the Wisp.
Radiant Jungle, initiation onto Handskin. There's the relocate. Dityara with his BKB on goes right for Seal Kit. Almost brings him down, and will finally do it. Veno coming in, Poison Nova gets a lot of damage off, but he's taking a lot of damage in return. Dityara doing a lot of work here. Nature's Prophet will get cleaved down. They also lose their Witch Doctor. Zeus falls on the backside. Now Dityara goes down. It's NiP that trade 2 for 4. Oh my. It looked like the PA was going to be able to do it at first, but not going to happen.
Or BKB only lasts for so long, and everyone else is just going to die during the BKB.
They leave the Alpha Wolf standing. Really unfortunate for NiP here that it's a long Roche respawn. That is bad RNG. Would have been a very easy Roche for him.
That's very poor positioning from PR too. They ideally want like PA in the front line to do all the damage, to take all their focus so that Tiny just can't bypass them and cleave down their very weak int supports.
Yeah, that play there, it felt like that PR had just forgotten about the relocate for a moment. They committed a Death Ward for the Vengeful Spirit. So by the time the Tony Wisp got in,
they hadn't relocated the past couple of games. I think they expected that they'd be safe.
Yeah, but yeah, that one was a little safe of a relocate, being in enemy territory, kind of deep. So PR get punished, and glancing at the graphs, that will zero things out. Blink Dagger does come up on the Timber Saw, scouts out Roche, sees it hasn't respawned yet, and Roche will come up about a second after he leaves the pit. I can't believe they haven't killed this Alpha Wolf. They've walked by it like 2 or 3 times now and have just totally ignored it. So that'll give PR a free scouting tool. They see that Roche is up. NiP has not. And maybe PR could just go into the pit. That's what Dityara is going to do. Loses his Dire Wolf, but this is really unfortunate for NiP. They got a good team fight right before the respawn. They scattered it out, and frankly, unlucky.
Yeah, really unlucky for them. They might not be too late, though. Vengeful Spirit heading into the pit. A Howl of Terror could speed up the Roshian process. It just misses Roche.
Oh, my. Does scout it out there. The relocate coming in. Dityara in a lot of trouble. The Static Storm is there, though. Kinetic Field has been used. Dityara will bring down the Wisp. The Death Ward from the high ground doing so much. Roche goes down to the Dire. Who gets the Aegis? It's Tiny. He snatches it. He'll cleave down the PA. Now the rest of the fight will transpire. Oh, no. PR in a lot of trouble here, Merlini. They're going to get cleaned up. It'll be a 1 for 3, and Era walks away with the Aegis. Meanwhile, in the mid, Shotshell gets taken down by the double damage Jonas.
Wow, that was huge, that Aegis steal. I don't know if he was stunned right at that moment, but that was perfect timing for NiP to just slip in there. And yeah, sure, he BKB'd, but Era still big and bad. 2,500 HP with BKB of his own and AC complete.
What's the buyback status here? We might need it. Nature's Prophet and PA do. Disruptor and Zeus do not. Glyph used right away. Tiny can do a lot of damage to these structures, and they will commit to the high ground here. I think PR might need to burn some buybacks. There's one. Nature's Prophet will use it. TP's in. Era sets it up. Fast blink from Cheshire Cat will keep him safe. Now the buyback from PA. NiP will try to make the retreat. Dityara moving out of the base, and I think necessary buybacks for PR, but unfortunate that they couldn't do more with it. Huge boon there for NiP. God, look at that graph.
Imagine
like a 10,000 gold swing.
What if that Dire Wolf was still up? They might have been able to clear it out in time, actually.
That's an interesting thought.
I mean, it's a lot of damage.
It's like 30% damage buff. Yeah, actually. That is a little unfortunate. Oh, NiP just barely getting in there. That Death Ward was so clutch on the high ground again from NS.
That Sprout actually might have blocked the PA out of the pit.
Did it? That was just... There was so much shit going on in this little tiny area. It was really hard to see exactly what was happening on the Aegis.
Yeah, I don't know if he was stunned or not. I'm pretty sure they casted it, but I think his BKB was around that duration where it was right about to end. And there was a Sprout right around the Tiny, but I don't know where exactly Aegis spawned because there were trees on the ground. Yeah. It was a very hectic fight.
Era picking up a Javelin here. Probably an MKB on the way out just so he can...
I'd say Basher.
Put some more damage on the PA. You think it's a Basher?
I think it's a Basher.
Okay. Either or. Both would be good, frankly. Abyssal, great way to deal with the PA. Lock her down. Dityara going for a Abyssal of his own at some point. Has the Javelin. That one will be a Basher, though. So, what are you thinking here, Merlini? NiP.
Oh, wait. Which one did you say was the MKB? Did you say
Tiny.
Era's?
Tiny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Era's is.
Yeah, he's
MKB.
going MKB.
I don't know. What I thought
Basher on the PA.
I thought you were talking about PAs. Yeah, PA.
Yeah, I was going to say Abyssal on Tiny. I mean, it's okay, but not as good as an MKB.
Yeah, he doesn't really need anti-BKB just because he just cleaves him down. He hits so darn hard, you don't want to man-fight him.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and he's pretty damn close to completing it here, too. It's about 1,000 gold off.
I still don't really know what their plan is to deal with Tiny, especially now that he has an Aegis.
Well, it will expire in less than 2 minutes, so I think at this point, just turtle up, wait it out, and try not to fight
Dire's top tower
during the Aegis.
is under attack.
Outside of that, though, yeah, they don't really seem to have a great game plan here. Tiny is
Dire's
really
top
getting out of
tower
control.
has fallen.
I mean, the Witch Doctor did a lot of work last game, but Tiny has 24 armor, and he's a lot tankier than a Juggernaut.
Yeah. I mean, last game was so different for a number of reasons. They had more minus armor, so the Death Ward was a little more effective. And also, PR just had a free opening 10 minutes like you were talking about. They had so much space to farm, get those core items up, and it did bode well. Dityara. Are they going to initiate on him? Thought Handskin was thinking about a swap. Well, he was certainly thinking about it, but not going to be able to find it. Radiant have a ward down on the high ground. Take a look at Radiant Vision here. This could be dangerous. Handskin on the high ground. And PR not going to spring the trap.
Dire's
It's looking
bottom
pretty
tower
grim for
is under
PR.
attack.
The Tiny Wisp is just getting out of control.
Yeah, it really is. Basher up on the PA. I feel like Abyssal is like that last tool to really deal with the Tiny. If they can't do it with that, then
You still need a
Dire's
couple
bottom
of crits,
tower has
though.
fallen.
yeah.
And even then, they have defensive swap, and all they need to do is outlast their BKB. That is pretty much the only thing that NiP has to do consistently in team fights.
Well, they have Hex on Nature's Prophet now. That is a tool to deal with the Tiny. More steps in the right direction, but yeesh.
Dire's
Witch Doctor
middle
about
barracks are under
1,500
attack.
off his Aghanims. No glyph available for PR as NiP go right in. Era
Radiant's
about to
top
just
tower
smack
is
down the
under
melee
attack.
barracks. He still has the Aegis, but not for too long. Will expire in just a couple of seconds here. So it will just be a regeneration rune as he
Dire's
backs
middle
on out.
barracks has fallen.
And that'll be his MKB. Now he gets glimpsed back in. He has no Aegis. This could be scary, but he's got support behind him. Nature's Prophet trying to split push while this is going on, but he will be repelled by the Timbersaw and be forced to TP out. Era on the high ground with 8 Mother. PR moving out of the base. 8 Mother goes in, connects on 3 with the Poison Nova. Now Era's joining the party, goes man mode with Dityara, and he is winning the battle. The cleave for a double kill as he takes out the Witch Doctor. Cheshire Cat branched down by the Whomping Willow. A wicked 6 streak and a triple kill for Era as now PR look to try to tighten the noose and perhaps end this game. PA and Furion stuck in the grave. No buyback for 2 minutes. This will be a bottom lane of barracks, and I think we're moving to an ace match here, Merlini.
Dire's bottom barracks.
the classic Tiny Wisp.
Yep.
Dire's
Could have been
bottom
banned.
barracks
Should have
has
banned it.
fallen.
First pick Wisp and no ban on the Tiny. There it is. GG, well played. So, our first game 3 of the tournament. It only took us 4 best of 3s,
Dire's
but hey,
top
we got there.
barracks are under attack. Radiant
Slightly
victory.
lackluster draft, I'd say. It just they didn't have any solution to the BKB Tiny.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish I had some insight to give you. They had the options to ban it. The Tiny was a 4th pick, so there were plenty of ways they could have worked around it. I think the PR draft, decent, but they just couldn't execute. Could have been different if PA did secure that Roche. That was kind of like the turning point that was the nail in the coffin, although it was already getting out of control by then. I don't know.
I mean, maybe they've had success with that particular lineup against EO, Tiny, and Scrims, but I mean, on paper, it just doesn't compute.
Yeah.
Like PA out carrying a Tiny Wisp is just very rare.
The Nature's Prophet had a startling amount of farm that game compared to the offlaners. Like the Timbersaw got very little done. He ended that game 4-3-1. That's how little he was involved. But the Prophet still couldn't do that much work either. He was in the team fights 3, 4,
None
and
of
10,
them
but
could if they
push.
see Tiny, they all have to run.
Yeah.
Like no one can really stand up to Tiny
Everyone's
except for PA.
food.
Except PA at the end just got demolished.
Yeah.
By Era. So I mean, the reason he got so much farm was because he couldn't stay in lanes. He would get relocated on it and just die. He went Maelstrom first after the Treads and then a Blink after. So that's like 15, 20 minutes where he can't really show himself in the lanes, and he always has to get the jump on people. He can't be split pushing. So, when you take away one of Nature's Prophet's strengths, he's not that strong of a hero.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, a deciding Game 3. Still in the opening day of Starladder, and we have our final match coming up for this day. It's been a long day, and we're starting to get a little fried here. So stick with us, folks. Bear with us through this Game 3. I'm sure it'll be hype. As these teams seem really evenly matched. I think it will probably come down to the draft. Of course, execution's a factor, but it's a big draft here for Game 3.
Veno ban, EO ban? We shall see.
We'll see. So stick around, folks. We'll be back after this break.